Welcome back in the closet, y'all.
Back in the closet.
She's singing.
Would you like me to sing again?
So we are. I'm a little groggy.
I'm groggy too. I'm not as groggy as you. I got more rest than you did, and I didn't go as hard in the paint. I don't think as you did.
You didn't.
But
I
I'm a little
promise
tired.
you
It was a
didn't.
what am I trying to say? Whirlwind.
Whirlwind weekend.
We had the-
hashtag it.
We had the ATL getaway.
The ATL annual trip, and we're still married.
Which we.
This is awesome.
Well,
so far.
Well, we are as of right now.
Right.
You know,
Evidence could come out, some change things.
Right.
I'm certain of that.
we could have some disputes, but no, I'm just kidding. Probably not.
No, it's not going to happen.
You know, it's over. It's
Yeah.
done. We're finished with it. But
Driving this day back, though, after limited sleep since Friday. Thursday night, I slept well. I slept here. Friday night, we drove all day,
right.
and I met my boys back at a Airbnb that we got for the weekend.
Well, the funny part was, let's back up the story because
You
we
can
get
back
there.
it up anytime, baby.
We get there, and Jeff's thinking we're going to grab a quick cup of coffee with his parents, and because the guys were on the lake. His whole team was
Boat
on the
day.
lake. Boat day.
I gotta
and
explain that.
we missed boat day because we couldn't.
I missed boat day.
Well, I wasn't invited to boat day.
So the league, we do boat day on Friday, which means we get out on the Lake Lanier, on boats with beverages, snacks, with
Some legal, some not.
exactly with different things to pull behind the boat. You know,
Right.
skis,
Right.
all kinds of fun stuff. So I didn't get down there early enough to do that because I have to work, and I couldn't get away this week on a Thursday and take all that time.
Right.
So we left Friday, and I thought they were like, from a couple of them, my brothers are both in this league, but a couple of people were, man, we're getting on the lake early. We're gonna be getting out of the water at like 3:30, and then we'll meet you down at like Shake Shack, like 5:30 or something, probably by the time we get out of the water and stuff. So what happens is I'm cruising down, and they're not responding to me because they're out on the lake. We get in traffic, we get into
Right.
town, and we go to meet my mom and my pops for coffee at Starbucks. And then finally my brother's like, no, my brother does not respond. I have to hit the league WhatsApp and say, yo, anybody paying attention to their phone?
Right. Which
Are you
they're not.
Are you guys off the lake yet? It's 4:30ish. And one of the guys responded with a picture of everybody but him in the lake. Off the boat, because they have one of those big floating, like, looks like a trampoline, but
Yeah,
it's not.
yeah.
They're all like laying on it or in the water.
Oh, how nice.
And he was like, not off the boat yet, man. So I was like, all right. So we get dinner with mom and pops,
Yeah, so a cup of coffee turned into
drinks.
full on dinner and drinks and whatever. Well, Jeff couldn't get a hold of the guys. I was supposed to meet my sister-in-law, and I was holding her up. So I felt really bad, but I kind of just was like, babe, you're going to have to get out of the car somewhere. I got to move on. Like, you're going to have to get your bags and get out of the car. So I dropped him off at the mall with
Yeah,
his bag. He
is it-
looked homeless.
She took me to Dunwoody, the perimeter mall, dropped me off, and I wandered around the mall.
But ended up Ubering to the house, and everything was good.
Yeah, finally they responded and said, man, go check in the house. Here's the code. So I went there, and I just chilled there. But there wasn't anything to do until they got there, really, because I didn't have any beverages, and I didn't want to, like, Uber to the store.
Right.
And we were right in Midtown Atlanta, like right in the dead of Atlanta. But it still was blocks from, like, the action, so I didn't really want to walk.
Right.
And plus, I didn't know when they were going to get there.
Right.
Finally, they show up with 3 Antico pizzas, which is my favorite pizza spot ever. And then a bunch of beer. And one guy brought $500 worth of bourbon, which I'm a big bourbon fan.
And $500. Okay, so Jeff told me this, right? $500 worth of bourbon. I'm thinking, God, y'all were set for the week. Bottles on bottles on bottles, right?
2 bottles.
So $250 a pop.
One was like, the sad thing is one was like $180. The other one was like, yeah, pretty expensive.
Did it really taste like if I would have a blind taste test? Would I be able to be like, this one is amazing, and would I know? I mean, answer that honestly.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. One was aged 12 years. The other one is 15 years.
Wow.
Maybe he had. Yeah,
That's older than our son.
both of them. Yes,
Wow.
they were really good. But it was another guy's birthday, so that's what the dude did.
Oh, I mean, a birthday costs for a $350 bottle of bourbon.
The dude, yeah, he walks in and we're like, man, and he's like, yeah. My wife was like, this looks expensive. He was like, when do you know anything about freaking bourbon and how much it is? She's like, I don't know, it just looks expensive. And he was like, you're right, it was 500 something. I was like, you what?
Oh, I would
And he
kill
goes,
him.
yeah. He goes, and it's Fromer's birthday and it's from the league, so you owe me 20, you owe me 20, you owe me
Wait,
20.
did you prearrange this? That's not quite fair.
I said, nah, I don't owe you nothing.
So you
Said I
all
would have got him some Evan Williams and said, good luck, bro.
right here you go. So y'all played poker and they passed out because they were on the river all day. So the
Yeah.
first night was kind of low key.
When some of them were
Fizzled.
had like hammered some mushrooms and stuff. So they
Not
were still
mushrooms on the pizza.
No. They'd been doing
Right.
mushrooms, like mushroom chocolates and stuff on the boat.
That just sounds disgusting. Mushroom
And
chocolate.
one of the guys, they almost lost, they thought, because he took one and he'd never taken them, and he ate it, and they said he was out. Like, they had to get him in and out of the water so he'd cool down.
So y'all basically
He was
are
paranoid.
idiots.
He wanted to go back to the...
That sounds like
dock.
so much fun. I want to do that.
Yeah, don't
What
take
part
the
of that makes you
chocolates.
be like, yeah, I want to do that.
Well, listen, I don't do mushrooms, but the guys that do them, that know them and know what to take, they love it. Right? They love it.
Yeah.
But he did not. He never had it, and he just popped a whole freaking chocolate, and like it was like a chocolate bar.
Chocolate and mushrooms.
Well, you can't taste it. Just tastes like you would think it was chocolate, from what they told me. It's like a block of like dark chocolate, and you're just eating it like dark chocolate, but it
That-
has the mushroom stuff in it,
Ugh,
like the psychedelics.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's fun. That's fun.
So we were up for a while till early morning, having fun.
I thought you said they passed out on you.
Well, there are a few of us that hung out, like me and my boy Spence. We hung out and we had deep conversations about relationships and sex and
Well, he's
kinky
high.
stuff. He wasn't really high anymore. He'd come down. He was in a good spot. He was totally
right.
under control.
I, on the other hand, the first night, if anybody cares and wants to know, watched HGTV and drank wine. That's about it.
Sounds exciting.
I did. I sat with my nephew and my sister-in-law. We chatted for a while. She had to give my nephew a bath. I was like, well, I'm going to try to stay up and wait for you. And about midnight or a little after, I was like, I'm about done with this House Hunters.
Yeah.
I drank my whole bottle of wine in like within an hour and a half. So I was feeling pretty good. So I went to bed. How exciting is that?
Well, the rest of the weekend for us was pretty tame. We got up Saturday morning
Tame.
and we all got dressed appropriately, tucked our shirts in, and we started around Atlanta canvassing and handing out tracts.
That's some bull crap.
We were put them in mailbox.
We already know.
Nice little tracts about how to improve your life and how to, some religious ones.
Why
and
don't
some,
you quit lying right now? You rolled out of bed, probably barely brushed your teeth or your hair,
I do.
put on sloppy clothes, and you went to Ormsby's and you played bocce ball and you drank beer all day. Now let's speak the truth.
Well, first, me
Oh, you went breakfast.
and the two other leaders and original members of New League.
And that's in you.
Yes, it's branded. It's copywritten.
Pretty sure it's not.
We went to have a nice discussion about how the weekend would go and how the day would go. So me and Nasty Nate and Jonathan went to breakfast and had a very delicious breakfast. Good
Well, they tried to go to Silver Skillet, and if you all know
Yeah,
Atlanta, Silver Skillet's
legendary.
pretty famous. Like movies have been shot there, and it looks like driving by. If you haven't been by Silver Skillet or in Silver Skillet, it looks like I'm not going in there. It looks old school.
It's like a really old
it's not
Waffle
really
House.
dirty, but
it's a diner.
Yes, it's a diner, and you're like,
Good stuff though.
But it's well, I'd have eaten there before. It's good food and it's famous. Like there's been, I don't know exactly what movies have been shot at the Silver Skillet in Atlanta, but on 14th Street.
You could probably Google it. Yeah, our house was a couple blocks from there where we're
So-
staying. Your office where you worked while we lived down there was right around the corner from that.
Yes, I drove by the Silver Skillet daily and went in once. My bosses took me in there once to eat breakfast And it was good.
Okay,
It was nice
so-
and greasy.
You're right. So it was coming to this. It was we were going to go to a pool and hang all day by a pool until draft time. But instead, what we did is I talked them into going to one of yours and my favorite bars, Ormsby's.
Right.
Let me tell you people about Ormsby's. Ormsby's is a sweet freaking bar with a great bar, but not only that, they got amazing freaking food. And the first floor when you walk in is just tables and chairs and a bar. But here's where it gets fun. You freaking go down the stairs, and you go down the basement where there's a couple bars down there too. But not only do they have bars, they have shuffleboard tables everywhere. They have
Right.
darts. They have pool tables, and in the back, they have 2 bocce ball courts.
It's amazing.
So we spent 2 to 3 hours at the bocce ball courts with appetizers and brewskis. Laughed, made fun of each other,
Great.
had a blast, and then we went back and we fought in the car because that's all it seems like we do. We all yell at each other
Okay.
because one's wanting to go to Shake Shack and the other one's like, we're going to go to Shake Shack before the draft, and it's only 0.2 miles from the draft. And the other guy's, I want to freaking go to Shake Shack now. Let's take our
Are you guys a
take
bunch
the
of
fucking ass
girls?
to Shake Shack when we drink, kind of. So, but it's fun banter. And then we didn't go. We went back to the house. We gathered all our stuff up that we had to take with us, and me and Jonathan in hoods, we Ubered to Shake Shack, and then we went to the Blind Pig.
So there you go. You
Compromised.
Compromised.
And the Shake Shack was amazing as usual. Blind Pig, for anybody that didn't listen last year, is where we hold the draft every year.
The Blind Pig.
The Blind Pig. All right, you drive by this place from the main road. It's this big Mexican restaurant on the front. Like, you're looking at it, you're like, oh, that's a cool restaurant.
Yeah.
And so you would park in the front parking lot. You'd go, well, that's for you people. But for New League, you pass it, you go back, you slide down this little thing to get to the back of the building where
slide. It's a slide.
no, never mind. You drive back.
Well, you said slide.
You drive back past the building, and then you go back there, and it's back where the dumpsters are, and there's a back door.
Oh, you
and
like
it
the
says-
back door, don't you?
I do, I love it. And then you've got there's a big sign that says
Flying pig.
Flying pig. What
No,
now?
I don't know. It's your spot.
The Blind Pig
Blind.
Parlor. Blind Pig Parlor. Look it up, people. It's awesome. So it's basically kind of like a speakeasy. You go back there, you go through, and it's freaking glorious.
Sounds amazing.
And we always rent it out for a few hours every year. Nate rents waitresses to put the stickers on the board.
He rents waitresses. Okay, can we stop right here?
Hookers?
No,
Okay,
no,
not
I'm
waitresses.
not worried
he
about.
gets
I'm-
hookers.
Okay, I'm not
to
worried
put
about
stickers on the board.
You said rent waitresses. You hire them. Okay, we don't rent them.
Okay, like I've been driving all day. I'm a little. Forgive
We
me,
hire people. We don't rent people.
Okay, he hired waitresses that
Okay,
are normal
thank you.
waitresses that he does every year because he knows the homies there, and they're coming in on their off time to do our party.
There you go.
So they put the stickers on the
Okay,
board.
can I stop? I'm not supposed to ask questions, but do you have a favorite one?
They're not always the same, and no, I don't have a favorite one. I don't. But this is cute. I like this conversation.
Is that because I'm just wondering if you
You
have a
want to
favorite?
know? You want to know what I said?
I mean, was everyone assigned a waitress? Was it that kind of thing?
No, there's only a couple, and they were up there more. There's the bartender, and they have to like work with them, but then they have to do the board. We have to get our picks to them. They call them out on the mic, and then the other one goes and gets the sticker and puts it on the board. See, some guys, I don't even know if I can say this.
Well,
and
don't say it.
already did.
Well, I mean, you're saying with these waitresses that you rented. Your words, not mine.
Okay, let's go to hiring. But all I'm saying is some guys might get in trouble because we have help. Because we hire help.
Why would you get?
I don't know. I don't know why. But you know, it's like
Anyway.
so you're renting girls or hiring girls.
Oh my gosh, renting
sounds bad, right? Why do you
does.
have to do that? Can you not hear a wife saying that? Why would you have to do that? Why can't you just use the waitresses that are there? Well, one, because it's like it's
Well, it's a
more,
party.
It's
You have to-
It's a bar, okay?
Right.
So there are no waitresses really. You go to the bar, you get. It's like not that. You have to get your own people to. Anyway.
Okay.
Where was I?
I don't know. Renting waitresses to put stickers on a piece of paper is what I'm gathering. Or on a board. I'm so sorry. On a board.
I'm not going to.
I mean,
I'm not going to say what we call them.
I know what you call them, and you shouldn't say that because you'll offend people.
Probably.
Okay, so let's move on. You did the draft.
No. What I was going to say is, here's what I was going to say, because you asked me if I have a favorite one, and absolutely not.
Uh-huh.
They're all equal in my eyes. I care about them all the same.
Okay.
You know why I say it that way?
I
Because this is what I said. Because they're not always the same. They get different people every year most of the time. But I like look and I'm like, dude, this is horrible. These are girls that I have in my house. This is gross. They're young. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have
Yeah.
a daughter that's 18 and her friends, and
Well,
it's
they
like,
have to be over 18 if they're serving liquor.
oh no,
alcohol.
they're over, but they look like
Like barely
little kids.
over?
Like they
Yeah.
look like they're. I don't know how old they are, but I'm just saying. That's what I said to one of the guys. I was like, man, I got a girl. I'm old. I said I'm old because this is not good for me. I mean,
are they even of age to be rented?
yeah, I'm sure Nate would never rent an underage girl. He would never do that. He would never lease an underage.
Oh my gosh, I'm so over this.
Okay, he would never. So
What are you talking?
I'm
What's your
so
point?
glad that we can talk so openly. Together
What's your
about
point?
this.
Like, where are you going with this?
I'm giving the layout of the party.
Okay,
the
so
night.
you
So we
picked
go to
your
the blind
people,
pig.
right.
So we go in.
We already
now
been here.
We pick our people after
Okay.
we just establish the draft order, which we play flip cup
Okay.
as teams to establish the draft order, and then we start picking, and then this gets good. Like we only have the place for like a couple of hours, and then it opens to the public.
Right.
But so after a couple hours, we're in the middle of hazing a guy. I think I have a video I can show you later because we had a new member this year, so we hazed him.
Oh gosh. Poor guy.
And it was like right towards that time, and it was like his girl showed up.
Whoa. Hang on. Hold up.
She was like,
Wait
I thought
a
I had to
minute.
pick you up.
Hold
I thought
up.
I had to pick
Wait
you
a
up.
minute. Hold
Put a
up.
little booty.
Wait a minute. Put a little booty in it. No, wait, listen. Hold up.
Hey, look, it's to her detriment.
She showed up. That was my biggest fear because listen, I'll tell about my time in a minute. But I stayed in a hotel last night and I was like, Jeff, be sure you put me not so far away that it's going to be way out of my way to pick you up for us to go home on Sunday. But I'm going out too. And I don't know where I'm going to end up. And I would be mortified if I ran into you guys because I would hate for anybody to think, oh, Angie just showed up. Like I was so worried about that.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I wanted to be exits and exits away that there's no way I'm going over there. And then when you told me where you were, well, I didn't know where the purple pig or the flying pig or the pink pig, where you rent your people. I don't know where that is. I don't know where that is, but I knew where you were sleeping. But anyway, she shows up. Oh no. The new guys?
This one new guy, like
She shows up. How does that happen?
because he told her like I need you to get me or something. Like he didn't know.
He was leaving? He didn't stay at the house?
No, he didn't say that. He's a new guy that we just had to get in the league to fill it up to 12.
So he's a filler.
So he's a filler.
He's fluff, is what you're telling me.
He's fluff.
So he wasn't invited to spend the night.
No, he wasn't invited. He's not in that
That
well.
is so wrong.
He's not at that level yet.
Did he have to pay all the...
Fuck. Yes, he had to pay.
No, that's wrong. That is wrong.
No, he could have come over. He could have come over
Why
to the
didn't he?
house.
He couldn't stay?
I guess not. I don't know.
Could he not because of you or because of his girl?
Oh, we were welcome to him. He was in
So
the league,
he's-
and we
now
initiated
the
him.
truth comes
We
out.
duct taped him to a chair,
Oh my.
poured stuff over his head,
This sounds just lovely.
and we made his girlfriend put a flashlight in his mouth.
So why was his girlfriend there really? Why did she get to come in and have fun? Why was she not escorted out?
she had to sit in the corner. Like, she had to sit up
I don't
front out of
think
sight.
that's fair
But
that a girl was there, one of the girls.
I agree.
I tried to stay far, far away.
This was a topic that we had a conversation,
not
and we
right.
scolded him.
This is not right, and he should be kicked out.
He's not gonna be
are
invited back next year,
Girls
probably.
that are spouses or girlfriends of the new league guys are not supposed to be there. Now,
Thank you.
Now, I know there's other girls that are there, but that's another...
But they're rented,
whatever.
right?
But they're rented. If you're not rented and you're a woman... You're not supposed, and especially a woman of one of the guys, you're not supposed to be there. That's what I was told.
Literally.
So it kind of makes me mad. I think I need to confront her.
Here, let me tell you something.
Why was she part of the festivities?
Listen,
I want
they
to know.
left right after that because we were pissed. And guess what? We had a conversation later that night and ruled.
Was there a jury and a judge?
There always is in these situations. People were upset about it and rattled. Right?
Right. Well, I suspect so.
And so, well, people made it clear. Actually, there were a couple guys yelling shit. And
I'm
so
pretty sure I know one of
they,
them.
They left.
Really?
We were done drafting. Yeah, he left. They left. It was not. It was like a few minutes.
I
It
think
wasn't
I
a
understand
big deal.
that, but I think that you respectfully, as the commissioner, Nate, should have stepped up and said, with all due respect, you weren't rented, and you're not invited to be here. We love you. We care about you as a girlfriend or a spouse
we don't
of
love
one
him
of our
or her.
dudes, but you have to leave. If he needs to leave and you need to pick him up, you can wait in the car. That's what I say. That's what I would expect them to say to me. I would never show up. I was nervous to show up at the house this morning. I was like, "Do you want to walk to the corner?"
Really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be where y'all are.
Oh, it's all right. You're good.
But anyway,
Listen, it was made clear to this gentleman that it was unacceptable, that he'll be punished accordingly,
oh my gosh.
and that he's not allowed in the WhatsApp. So right now there's only 11 in the WhatsApp out of 12.
He was banished from the WhatsApp.
He's
chat.
never been in it. He has
Dude.
to earn his way in.
Dude, you're blessed. That WhatsApp from now. Let me tell y'all something. Can I pause here? Basically, from now until the end of the football season, I constantly think Jeff's cheating on me on his phone because he is constantly in his phone on this group chat on WhatsApp with 11 guys. Constantly they send pictures of their beers. They probably send pictures of their penises. I don't know. I can't say anymore. They send pictures of things and it's constant. I'm like, who are you texting with over there, Jeff? Like,
And I
just
hold my
teasing
phone
him.
up.
I know I'm teasing you, and you know I'm teasing you. You're like, the league. I'm like, yeah.
And we don't send each other pictures of our penis.
Are you sure now?
We do that individually in private.
Gross.
WhatsApps. Just
Gross.
kidding.
But anyway, I think that's so funny. This guy was banished from the WhatsApp. Is he going to come back next year?
No, we're holding his spot for Marty. Marty, who couldn't be in this year, and he's always been in it. So this guy was filler. It was like last minute because one
I
of the
hope he
guys.
doesn't listen to this podcast because you're hurting his feelings.
Because one of the guys. Oh, we hurt his feelings. He was railed on all night long.
Oh, that really
Like just people
railed
talking.
because isn't railed on really? I mean, okay.
Okay, we're not in that sense of it.
I'm sorry. I'm married to you. My mind just goes there.
It's true. No, we just constantly made fun of him all night because
That's
that's what you
sad.
do to new people.
How old is this guy? I mean, just give me a range. I don't need the year
I would
he's
say
born.
32.
Old enough to know better. When you're at a dude's event, your girl doesn't show up. If you need picked up, text her when you know you're there, and don't let her come in. How did she get in? I thought it was a speakeasy. I thought nobody really knew. How did she get in the back door?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is
How'd she get in?
She got in once it was open to public. Before it was open to public, she couldn't have got in because we had it locked down.
So she just shows up.
But then it opens up to public after about 3.5 hours.
I'm going to show up incognito. I'm going to pose as one of the girls that you rent. I am. I'm going to pose as one of those.
Just hit Nate up on Instagram.
I am. I'm going to be like,
sure
I will
he'll-
be in disguise. I don't want to know. I don't want to be there.
Well,
I don't wanna be there.
Just so that you know, one of the guys said, "Please tell me your wife's one of the girls tonight."
That's so nice. I know which one it probably was. That's so nice. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It wasn't that one.
Oh.
But he agreed. He was standing there too, and he said,
Oh.
"Oh, that'd be freaking awesome."
I don't know who
man."
it was because the other two of them are my brother-in-laws, and I know they wouldn't say anything like that.
No, it was the guy that
You don't
been
have to.
out for a year, and he's back.
Okay, well,
And he's like, I see her on Instagram.
that's
He's
really
like,
nice.
these bitches, like, well, I can't. Could you let her do it? And I'm like, no,
wouldn't do
I
it.
don't want her. I don't want you guys around my wife.
If Nate paid me enough, I would.
Easy.
He could rent me
Easy,
just to put the stickers on the paper.
easy,
I'm not going to do anything. I just put stickers on the paper and bring your drinks to you.
true.
Anyway, no, I don't want to be there. The whole point of me going is to get away from you. I'm just kidding. I don't mean it that way. The whole point of me going is to get away and be away from responsibilities and from kids, to let you have your time and I have my time, and it's glorious.
And this is the joy of relationships, if we're going to get into it deep, because all of that stuff we just talked about, you don't ask me questions.
No.
I don't have to tell you any of that.
I mean, you tell me what goes on, but I'm sure you don't tell me everything, and I don't deep it. I don't say where'd you go, who'd you go with, what time did you get home, what'd you drink, what'd you eat, who'd you see. I mean, I don't mind. That's not the point of this. And you didn't do this. You didn't do it to me. I went out. I didn't go out, but I mean,
you could have been at strip clubs too.
I
wasn't. I
wasn't. I was in places that were sketch, but
You had nice stuff. You went out with ballers.
I had nice stuff. I went to Waffle House.
Oh, give me a break. Let's
Smyrna.
talk about Saturday night then.
Okay, we'll get to Saturday night, but I went to Waffle House in Smyrna on Saturday morning.
Oh, that's a good story.
Because I wanted to go to workouts and I needed some breakfast and I love me some Waffle House. So I just Googled, or what, put in maps the closest one, and I roll up and it's busy. I'm like, okay. So I walk in and I'm just going to tell the story the way it is, and it is what it is. I don't mean anything by it. I walk in to the Waffle House in Smyrna and realize quickly, because all eyes shifted, that I was the only white person in there. And I was like, oh, hi, everybody. I have my workout clothes on. And there were people like waiting to be seated. It was that crowded. But there was one little seat, like not at the bar, but like at the table that, you know what I'm saying? Like the shorter
I know
bar,
what you're saying.
whatever. And I had to ask this dude, I was like, is anyone sitting here? He's like, no. But I felt like people staring. So I was like, I felt like I had to ask everybody waiting for a seat if they were, are you sitting there? No. Are you sitting there? No. Are you sitting there? So I sat down. So I'm already feeling like a certain type of way. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I guess I've just never been in a situation like this where I literally was the only Caucasian in the place. And it was fine. But this guy came up to me and tapped me on the shoulder. And he goes, hey, where do you lift?
That's a
I was
good one. I
like-
like that one.
I'm sorry, where do I lift? And it took me by off guard so much that I was stupid. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have said it this way. But I was like, oh, I'm not from around here. I'm from out of town. I mean, dumb, Angie. Why didn't you just say I lift at this place? Because now you're a target.
Well, no. Let me tell you what you're setting up right here. You're setting up a beautiful porno. Like all that guy is seeing is, this is a porn situation. Hot girl in the Waffle House. No.
I've not seen that one.
Here's how he heard it. I'm not from this area. Could you help me? Could you help me with the area?
I didn't say that. Well, here's where
That's what he heard.
Okay. Well, maybe he was working with guy number 2. So guy number
Whoa,
2.
tell me more. What's going on
I
here?
told you. He was sitting beside me, and he said, well, that guy went away. He was like, oh, I was just wondering, I could tell you worked out, la, la, la. I really need to get back into it. And I'm like, yeah, you do. No, he was fine. He didn't look that bad. But anyway, the guy next to me was like, I said to the first guy, I was like, I'm not from here, but I'm going to go find somewhere to work out as soon as I'm done eating here. That's what I said. The guy, a few minutes later, beside me, he goes, hey, are you a member at Planet Fitness? And I was like, yes, actually I am. And he goes, oh, okay. I was going to say, I'm getting ready to go there here in a few minutes and you can be my guest.
Man, you're cleaning up.
I was like, I really appreciate that. But I'm already a member, so I'm good. And he goes, well, it's just right down the street, like 2 miles. I said, just right down the street. He's like, yeah, I'll be there. I'm probably going to be there in a little bit. Well, I never saw him again. I'm
Right.
like, dude was probably going to lead me down something. So anyway, I ate my breakfast. Everybody was really nice, really kind. And I left. And then I went to Anytime Fitness, kind of same similar situation. no, what did I say? Planet Fitness. I'm sorry. Same kind of similar situation. I kept putting myself in these situations. Well, anyway, I worked out, and then I had.
Sounds like you're begging for it. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, I'm in Smyrna, Georgia.
It's a joke. It was a joke. I really don't
Anyway.
think that was a very derogatory joke. It was bad.
Yeah, it was. Here was the thing. So for the longest time, I've been wanting to get my nose pierced, right? And anytime we go on this trip to Atlanta, I normally do something for myself that I don't normally do at home. Like, I don't get my nails done. I don't get a pedicure. None of that bull crap. I usually get a tattoo, or I do something that's just like different that I wouldn't do here. So that day, I was like, okay, I think this time I'm going to get my nose pierced. Right. And I've been playing around with the idea of doing it when I was there. So I was like, I don't know. I've been going back and forth with it. So I was like, I'm going to Google it or put it on maps. I almost said MapQuest. And if it's less than 3 miles away, I'm going, at least to feel it out. So I did it, and it was like, what was it called? I forget. It was 1.7 miles. And I was like, well, guess I'm going. So I call him up. I'm like, do you need an appointment? No. How much is it? $60. Okay, fine. So I went, and I went in, and she was really nice. We talked about it, and I got my nose pierced. And I didn't have anybody with me, and it was pretty nice. And it didn't even hurt, to be honest. It didn't hurt. She put a cork in my nose. She's like, I gotta put this little cork in here, and I'm gonna take this needle. And the needle, like, it's not like I've never had your nose pierced. I guess I'm stupid. I don't know. I just was thinking it was gonna kind of be like a gun, like a piercing gun. And it's not at all a piercing gun. It's this long ass needle. It's so long. Like, I'm like, wait a second. We're not going through my entire nose. We're just going through, like, my nostril. And anyway, she has a cork in my nose, like a wine cork, like a little cork. And I guess
that's weird. What?
Well, I guess it's because, like, in case she would go into, like, it wouldn't puncture, like, over here, right? You know what I mean?
It protects you.
So it's like a protection. It's like a stopping point, I guess.
Yeah.
So she, like, cleans my nose real good, and
that must have been hot.
Well, yeah. Puts a cork in my nose. That's really attractive. Mm-hmm. And then takes this long needle, and she's like, "Ooh. You probably need to close your eyes, because the needle is kind of like, if you could imagine, like, a needle coming at your nose and you can see it out of your eyes." So I closed my eyes. She was like, taking a deep breath, and when you exhale is when I'm going to go. And I was like, okay.
Sounds like her. Never mind.
So I took a deep breath in. I exhaled, and I kept my eyes closed. And she was like, okay, you can open now. I was like, are you, like, she was like, I'm done. I was like, you're, like, totally done? Or, like, you're just done with the hole? And she was like, no, your piercing's done. Your ring is in. Or your jewel is in, or whatever she called it. And I was like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
So were you mad because you didn't get to feel the pain?
No, I mean, I felt a pinch. Like, I knew when the needle went in. I'm not saying that. But then it was like literally, I think, 5 seconds.
Huh.
And done. And so then I'm like, okay, cool. And she shows me in the mirror, and I look at it, and I was like, oh, it's so cute, whatever. And she's like, all right, we can go up front. So I start to get up. She was like, oh, no, sit back down. I'm like, what? And then I felt like I thought my nose was running. And I got a glance in the mirror, and I was like, had blood pouring out of my nose. Ooh. She was like, you're a late bleeder.
And a late bleeder.
That's what she's like. You're a late bleeder. She's like, some people don't bleed at all. Some people bleed right away, and some people are a late bleeder. You're late. We're gonna have to sit here for a minute. So she, like, had to take this paper towel and, like, hold pressure on my nose. It was really awkward because this girl's got her fingers up my nose.
Yeah, bonding moment.
She's got her fingers up my nose.
That's hot.
She has gloves on, but I'm like, this is not. No, it's not hot at all.
Well, I know. I was being sarcastic.
She's a cute girl, but this wasn't hot.
Now it's getting hot.
No, she just had her fingers on my nose. So anyway, long story short, it was done. We were over. It was fine.
I'll work
and
with what I got.
It didn't really hurt, and it didn't really hurt after, just a little bit. Like, I feel like my nose is kind of tight unless I take Motrin. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It looks cute. I like it.
I like it.
It's
I'm glad
sexy.
I did it right now. I hope it doesn't get infected, because when I got my cartilage pierced, it got infected, and it was all I got a blood bubble. And I just feel like that with your ear, you can hide it with hair. If you get a big blood bubble infection on your nose, well, people are going to see it.
I'd wash that thing like a beast.
You don't want to overdo it, though.
Have you cleaned it today?
Yes, Jeff, I've cleaned it 3 times today. Thank you.
Okay, I'm looking out for you. Don't get mad at me because I'm your helper.
So anyway, I did that. Then I went back to. I went and checked into the hotel, and I went to dinner, or I went to get drinks. What I thought was getting drinks with my old boss, David, one of my bosses, David, who still lives there. He's an attorney, and he wanted to take me to drinks. He was like
Damn good attorney.
Yeah, he is. He said, "I'm gonna take you for
And
a couple."
a damn good person.
Yeah, he is. A couple of drinks. So I'm thinking, okay, from 4, and then a couple of drinks, couple hours. So I'm thinking I'll come back, hang out in the hotel. So I Ubered over there, which was an experience. I've never been in an Uber without Jeff. So it was like weird. So I Ubered with this girl who was dressed in bohemian. She had like a belly shirt on and like beads everywhere.
Cool.
And like a head wrap on.
Right.
I don't know. And she was on the phone the whole time and making Snapchat videos, which I respect that.
The girl you shared the car with.
Yeah, she didn't speak to me not once.
Was it awkward?
Well, I opened the door on her because he pulls up, right? And I opened the passenger side door closest to me because it's dark tinted windows. And I opened the door and she was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. She didn't smile. I mean, she didn't like me. I don't think. I really think she low key was probably like texting with her friends, like this. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what's my point? So anyway, I go to this bar. It's a rooftop bar with David.
Right.
It's at the Moxie in Atlanta. I'm giving all these shout outs.
The Moxie. We need to put this in our.
And it's called High Note. High Note Rooftop Bar.
And it's
the idea behind it being called High Note, from what I gather from my research, because I research places, is that they say that you want to end your day on a high note. So you go up and you have you go up and you have a drink. So it's this rooftop, you go in this bar, and it is the coolest freaking hotel. I don't know how much the rooms are, but I'm going to save up my money. And next time we go, I want to stay at least one night. You go into, and it's like a bar. You walk into this bar, and that's where you check in. You don't check in
at the bar?
You check in at the bar. You don't check in at, like, this nice, like, front desk. And then I don't know what the rooms look like, but then you go up to it's a pool and a bar, and it's really cool. We had 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many drinks we had. And he was like, "Let's go. I got to go meet my wife and kid for dinner." So we went down. I started to order dinner, and then his wife was on the phone with him. He's like, "What do you mean she's ordering dinner?" "No, she's coming with us." So I had to cancel my order. And then I ended up in an Uber going to dinner with my old boss, his wife, and his daughter at Local 3.
Oh,
now, Local 3 is an amazing restaurant in Charleston, too. Another shout out.
Wait. In Charleston?
Did I say Charleston?
You said Local 3 is another amazing restaurant in Charleston.
Oh, let me rewind. We went to Local 3. Local 3 is an amazing restaurant in Atlanta,
Georgia. It is amazing.
We sat outside.
It's
I
awesome.
had
It's a great experience.
Cheeseburger that was, I think, $20.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Anyway, and I had a great conversation with them. We caught up. It was so amazing, and they're always so good to me. They've always been. And I keep saying this, like, y'all know how I am with fitness, and I love my job. I love training. I would never want to go do anything else. But if I had to go back to work for one law firm or one group of people, it would be them.
I would not. If you had one shot, I would force you to.
I mean, if
not
I
that
really
I can
seriously
force you
would.
to, but my vote is for them. They were so amazing to us.
They take care of their people and their people's family. I mean, I've been gone for almost 8 years, and when I go back, they still want to see me. They still want to go out with me. One of the other partners of the firm moved to San Francisco when Jeff and I were out there.
We stayed in his guest house for 2
days in his pool house, which was amazing.
Threw me the keys to his Tesla.
Jeff got to drive his Tesla.
They're just cool, man.
Good.
They're just cool people.
Attorneys get bad reps. Attorneys are people too.
Well, these guys are not.
They're amazing.
They're not. You would never know they're attorneys. I mean, if you have a stereotype for attorneys, they don't fit.
No. Now they can be, especially one of them, which I'm sure if he listens to this podcast, he doesn't care. I can tell him to his face. He can be stern. He can be a big old butthole.
Yeah.
But
he's really good.
I think I broke through to him, and it's good. So I had a good dinner. I had a good conversation, and then it took me forever to get an Uber because he couldn't find me. It was a big ordeal. There was 90 college-age lacrosse players there.
Oh, good for you.
So if I'm going to be lost somewhere waiting for an Uber, I mean, I'm not totally mad at it. But anyway, no, they were gone when I was waiting for the Uber, but they were there the rest of the time. They were having a pig roast. It was a good time.
And that leads to, we finished our draft, like I said.
Right? We're caught up.
We're caught up. the ones that didn't go home Ubered back to the Hizzy,
Don't say the hizzy.
to the new league pad for the weekend.
Okay, that's better.
Then we all went up to, there was a big party deck in this place, like outside, nice big party deck.
Right.
Where you could just sit out there and chill. So we went out there and we got in a big circle and we held hands and we prayed over the league, and then we all went to bed.
Jeff, I don't know why you give us lies.
That's what happened.
It's not what happened.
Some guys they read some books, and other guys played video games.
Again, more lies. You drank drinks. You did some other things. You went to.
We got
we're
pizza.
Not. That's probably true.
We did. We got pizza. We hung out.
Why are you telling everybody lies? Like,
some people left and went out. And
be careful.
They got gum and
Oh my-
cigarettes and more light beer.
Oh my gosh.
Some light beers.
Some O'Douls.
Some O'Douls. I think
Some White Claw.
One of the dudes was crushing White
Hey!
Claws. He was like,
I'm
he
not
said
judging.
that today.
I'm not judging.
He sent it on the WhatsApp. He's like,
So it wasn't the one that was banished, obviously.
he's like, he's not on the WhatsApp.
That's what I
Your
said.
point taken. I get you now. What did he say?
About White
He kept
Claw?
saying stuff about White Claw. I'm feeling like I need a White Claw. Rah. Like he would do stupid stuff, but he did. He like took cases of White Claw on boat day,
I don't see anything
which
wrong
is a
with that.
great. I'm okay with White Claw.
I don't see anything wrong with that. So it was a successful time. I got up this morning. I went and picked Jeff up. And it's like this whole 24 hours that we're apart from each other. But the funny thing is, it's like...
24 hours. Gosh, it was more like 36.
Well, it was... Well,
You dropped me off Friday at
Friday night to
5
Sunday
something
morning.
Or 6 something, and then
I guess it
didn't
only
see you
felt like
until
24
Sunday.
hours. But
Oh, I'm so sorry.
it's a great time because we're apart and it makes you appreciate each other
It
more.
does.
And it's just nice to be able to be in a situation where it's like I send him off, he sends me off, and I'm running around Atlanta. I'm running around Atlanta with my old boss, and who knows? I mean, he doesn't know where. He makes sure I'm safe. Like, let me know when you're back to the hotel and this and that. And there's just no questions, and it's so relaxing. And it hasn't always been like that. And I think relationships evolve to that point over time.
If they
Some of them don't make it there. Some of them make it there sooner. But for us, it evolved over time. We've not always been that
No.
laid back. We've always been trusting, I feel like.
We've
But
been
I
through a
don't.
lot, though.
I don't think that we've always been as laid back. Like I think in the past, if you would have done this league when the kids were little and I was younger and insecure about
Like
myself,
in our 20s.
yeah, and because I mean, if women are insecure about themselves, it's a lot harder to send your husband off into situations where possibly they're in situations and there's people surrounding them where you feel like you as the woman feel like he might be looking at her
Right.
when you're feeling like a certain type of way about yourself, looking at her saying, not comparing, but liking what you're seeing better than what you really see with your wife. Not liking her better, not
No.
loving her, but physically being drawn to her because maybe of something that your wife is lacking.
Because you aren't connecting at that point.
Well, you're not connecting because if you don't feel a certain type of way about yourself, you're shutting down. You're shutting down any type of connection.
I'm with you 1
You know what I'm
million
saying?
%. And
So-
and that's looking back. That's what happens because that's just a
Right.
part of the evolution of a relationship. And that's the kind of conversation I've had with other guys that I have friendships with that are younger than me, and they're in those situations. And I say, you've got to chill.
Just
bro.
wait. Yeah.
Give her time and support her.
Yeah.
Be there for her. Understand she's
Yeah.
so sensitive because she's drained. Mothers do so much more than you and me.
Mm-hmm.
They plus at that they sacrifice their time that they can go out and just let loose because they feel guilty.
Yeah, but
They've got
that's our
babies at
fault.
home.
But that's our fault.
It's your fault,
That's our
but it's
fault.
sometimes it's unavoidable at certain age limits. I'm not saying once, but I mean when you've got babies,
It's
you're not
unavoidable if
wanting-
your husband is a stick in the mud. And,
True.
and a
Like I
butthole,
tried to always
but you
say,
weren't.
do what you can do.
But I never did, and that's not your fault. It's mine.
It was your fault, and that's great that you recognize.
No, I
that
do
now.
recognize that. I just didn't want to relinquish the control.
Right.
But even more than all that, it's basically it comes down to how a woman feels about herself. And if she's feeling down on herself and relaying that to you, like it doesn't matter if you understand it or not. It doesn't matter if you're like, she's saying that she feels overweight. She's saying she feels unattractive. She's saying she feels gross. You may look at her and see beauty and nothing more than that. That doesn't matter. It's how she's feeling.
It's exactly.
So therefore, when you go on a guy's trip, in her mind, you're out there looking at all these girls and loving what you're seeing, and that might not be reality.
Yeah.
So it takes time to like evolve into that, A, and B, women to get into a situation where they feel comfortable with themselves. And that's why I'm so passionate about my job, because I was down deep into that. Deep, and I think I said this a few podcasts ago or whatever, so deep into feeling bad about myself that I was tearing up Sports Illustrated swimsuit editions and Victoria's Secret catalogs. That is how insecure I was. And I think I've already admitted that on the podcast. If I didn't, I just did. But that's how bad it was. That's how bad about myself I felt. Like tearing up
That was
magazines.
when we were young and we didn't have internet.
It wasn't even that young. Well, I understand that. But I'm just saying it was coming through the mail. And like it wasn't that young. I was in my early 30s.
I remember getting so pissed at you.
And I understand that now, but at the time, I'm like, I don't want this in my house. I don't want to see it. I don't want it to be brought to my face that I feel bad at myself. I don't want to see these women in bikinis and lingerie when I feel like shit. Like, I don't even want to put on jeans and a baggy sweatshirt. So I get where that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that
But
you have
now
that passion
I'm
that you can
confident
help people.
in myself, regardless. I mean, obviously, golly, I mean, I have so much more work to do, and that's fine. But I'm now in a mindset of being confident in myself. No matter
Where we both go and we both
Right.
know.
right.
I know you see. I know you're out. You're in Atlanta. You
Right.
see attractive
I saw
dudes.
90 college age freaking lacrosse players.
Right. And that's just the start.
Right.
But we're mature. We're not. You know,
Right.
you have that delusion like when you're 20, you would have thought, well, all those guys are gangbanging those girls they rented.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
But you
No,
know now
I
you're
know,
like,
I know.
those girls, one, they don't want anything to do with any of them.
No.
And two, they're freaking bunch of dorks doing a fantasy league
I mean, it's fine. Yeah.
and all, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, it's the confidence, just like if you had that. Like, I mean, who cares? Like, you're
Right.
not, nobody, like we said today, it's like the weekend makes you appreciate so much. This weekend every year makes me appreciate what I've got so much and how far we've come
Right.
because I see so many people that don't have it.
Right.
And it's not that I feel like all my life's better than yours. It's just like I encourage them, hey, your wife and you both can have it, but you both got to be confident. Because a lot of
Right.
times guys can want what I had this weekend, but they don't want to allow you to have it.
See, that's bull crap. That's some bull crap right
like,
there.
you know what I'm saying?
It cannot be double standard
It
like
cannot
that.
be double standard. If you
Either
want to have a
way.
weekend, you know what I mean, like that, where you're in, you rent guys,
I want to rent some guys.
then
To put
I've got
stickers
to
on
be
paper
like,
for me.
right, then I got to be like, okay, but big deal.
I mean, it's not always easy, and there have been years.
There were years,
This year,
5-6 years ago, where it was a struggle.
This
Yeah.
year, I had not one twinge. I think this year and the year, not last year because I didn't get to go last year, but the year before that. I didn't have one twinge. I didn't have one worry. I worry about your safety sometimes. Like,
Well, that's what you told me. You
getting,
said,
to
"Don't
and from."
die.
Like I'm worried about you getting to and from places safely. I'm not worried about what you do in between. You know what I'm saying? Like, but this year was really great. And there have been years in the past where I've let my mind take me to, oh, he's doing this, and there's probably girls on that house, and he's probably laying up sleeping with some girl, knowing I'm never gonna know, and they have some guy bond, and nobody's ever gonna tell. And if you do, you do. That's something that you have to live with.
That's right.
You're coming home with me. We're going to go back to our life. You're not running off with this person. And guess what? If you do, okay, have at it. Go ahead and run off with the girl you rented.
Calm down.
Go ahead.
Calm down.
But
Are you
that's
going
what I'm
to?
saying.
The rented girls don't come back to the room with us. They don't care. They go to
I
their next
understand that.
job.
I understand that, but I'm just telling you what my
That's
mind
what's
went
so
through.
frustrating is that like you.
Oh, that they went back to their job, that they don't stay around.
No, I'm just saying like that. It's so obvious that it's a job. You know what I mean? Like it's like if you're rented.
That's so terrible.
No, I'm just saying if you're rented, don't be a bitch. Like don't be like stuck up like you're the one there to be
Yeah.
flirted with.
Yeah.
Or like you know what I'm like. I mean, you were rented for a purpose, and don't like as soon as the bell rings, run out of class. Like I'm out of here. Like
Dude, if you rent me, and you rented me from 6 to 8, I'm bouncing at 8. All right, unless you're tipping me really well or paying me extra, I'm Audi 5000 at 8 o'clock. Done. I'm done with you nerds that are drafting fantasy football with your gold trophy and snakes around your neck. I'm out.
That sounds baller to me. You're missing out. That's all I'm saying. You should
I'm
come
just
back and listen to us evaluate the draft like we did for like an hour.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm going to move on
Like,
down.
Hoods, you picked so-and-so in the 7th?
I'm going to...
What were you thinking, man? What do you know that we don't know?
If I'm rented and I'm doing a fantasy football draft for guys ages mid-30s to 50s, I'm bouncing at 8, and I'm going to go find
First of all,
the
I'm the
lacrosse
oldest.
party.
I'm the oldest.
No,
and
you're
I'm
not.
44.
You are not the oldest. Lies.
Shaggy.
Lies.
Shaggy, my boy. He's 60s.
So there.
Shaggy's the man.
So anyway, it was a great weekend. I think it's about time to go. But it was a great weekend. We had fun. Both of you and I had fun. I'm counting the days till next time, but we are going for boat day. You're going for boat day because I need an extra day.
God bless you, baby. God bless you.
You
See,
can't, you're going to have to plan
that's a
for
good
it.
one.
I was in for boat day. I mean, I'm not going to boat day, but I'm just saying I could show up like that girl did.
Oh, that girl ain't
But
showing up again. There's
I need to know her name off the thing because I'm going to call it something. But anyway.
Nobody knows her name.
Well, there you go.
Because she wasn't there. Nobody recognized her.
I know nobody recognized her, but I mean, does he not talk about her like this is Melissa?
We don't
or
know
whatever?
this guy. You got to understand that somebody brought
where did he
him.
come from?
A-
Off the street? Hey, guys,
No,
sitting
no,
outside
no.
of Walgreens. Are you bored? Do you want to go to a fantasy football draft? I
No,
mean,
the guy that had been in the league for years that was out last year, we got him back. We had 2 spots open. We got him back in. We said,
okay, that's fine.
do you know anybody else? He said, yeah, my buddy can do it.
I can
we
know
said,
so
bring
many
him.
other people you could have taken.
I didn't know.
You could have taken Chaz. You could
They
have taken Mikey Free.
But they just said we got it covered. Nobody ever gave that option. All I know is he said, I've got another guy if you got a spot.
Oh.
So listen,
Well-
they brought this guy. Nobody had talked to him or met him until that night.
Oh, that's weird.
So now you know why it happened the way it did. And now the guy
Well,
feels like crap. He actually apologized
he
and felt
should.
like shit.
You got to understand what you're getting into.
He
before you
knows
get
now
into it.
that New League is no joke.
Oh my word, I gotta go. But I'm just saying, you're going to boat day. I'm gonna have an extra day. I'm gonna plan some stuff. I've got some ideas for myself
Uh-oh.
that I'm gonna do next.
I'm nervous.
It's gonna be great. And I enjoyed my time, and I appreciate you letting me go along with you and ride in the car. I basically saw you for the car ride down and the car ride home.
And it was glorious. I
It is, it's
hate
fun.
doing it by
We had
myself.
fun. We do car karaoke, and today was a little bit more low key. We weren't as hype
We were so
because we were so
drained.
tired. I was like, "What's up?"
Yeah, it was so nice though to be
But
with you.
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that 2 nights I had to sleep without you. And it makes you realize I kind of need you to sleep.
I know. You're like my Ambien.
Even if I'm not touching you, it's just like,
Ooh, that's another cup name.
okay. Even if I'm not touching you, just your presence is comforting.
That's what every man wants to hear from their lady.
And I love you.
Even if I'm not touching you.
I do. It's great. And I love you. And I'm glad we're back home safely.
I love you. Thank you for being the most amazing wife and
Oh my
letting me
gosh.
enjoy my fantasy football weekend with my homies and pledging to make sure I'm there for boat day next year.
Yeah. You better be there. I love you get giddy about it. It's fun to watch you get all hype and excited. And now we have this damn trophy. Go
The
to our
trophy-
Instagram page. It's there.
Oh my gosh.
It's so ugly.
home. It's the 4th time it's come home with me,
Oh,
and it
God.
won't be the last.
All right. Peace
We
out.
out.